Hello everyone, this is the Andrew aka the German Viking, and I wanted to talk about MasterCard, basically being the truth council of who gets to use their service. And this is by Spencer Bakuli on over at Bounding into Comics. So, MasterCard pressured by activist group to hold shareholder vote on creation of human rights committee to monitor payments to hate groups. An activist group has succeeded in forcing MasterCard to hold a shareholder vote concerning a proposal which aims to monitor and restrict payments to far-right and white supremacist groups under the notion of protecting human rights. But they're not going to do this in regards to the far left, Antifa or let's say Islamist groups or any communist groups or anything like that. No, it's just the far right. So it's selective in their outrage. The proposal was conceived by the US-based political group Some of Us, a self-described community of people from around the world committed to curbing the growing power of corporations, which aims to act as a global consumer watchdog, running and winning campaigns to hold the biggest companies in the world accountable. Yeah, that just sounds like a lot of buzzwords where they just want to tell companies and corporations, this is not acceptable, and we're gonna shame you until you do what we're gonna ask of you. So this is basically the same people who are telling or making Gillette and other companies go woke, so to speak. According to the MasterCard notice of 2019 annual meeting of shareholders and proxy statements filed with the SEC provided to shareholders, the proposal will request that the board direct the nominating and corporate governance committee created a standing committee to oversee companies' responses to domestic and international developments in human rights that affect MasterCard's business. That's not your role as MasterCard. You're supposed to just facilitate transactions between people, and I mean, how dangerous is this? Where these companies can tell people they don't like to use their service. I mean, even people you don't like have to eat. I mean, Jesus Christ! If people have despicable views, however don't act on them, they still have or deserve to have the decency to eat and have a roof over their heads. Jesus Christ. MasterCard's exposure to conflict and human rights risk is significant, as our company operates in over 210 countries and territories, some of which have significant risk of human rights violations. So you're hypocrites. You operate in these countries, but still don't discriminate based on thought. That's basically your statement here. Companies can face risk related to human rights even when they only perform support functions. Internet infrastructure companies like Webhost, GoDaddy, social media platform Facebook, and payment firm like PayPal have come under pressure for doing business with or providing a forum for neo-Nazis and other hate groups. MasterCard has received negative publicity for processing payments to white supremacist groups. I mean, you have pressured Patreon to ban people based off over there. So, I mean, you're already censoring people who you deem unworthy. That's also negative press on your part. So, maybe you should just be objectively neutral and just give people a service. Organizers catch credit card companies profiting from white supremacy. Online payment companies are complicit in authorizing transactions related to hate groups. Alternate August 22nd, 2017. That's basically their the link. The United Nations Guiding Principles on Business Human Rights, the guiding principle approved by the UN Human Rights Council in 2011. Yeah, the same council that has Saudi Arabia, where they just allowed women to drive. I seriously citing this the same council here. You goddamn hypocrites, MasterCard. Note that businesses and enterprises may be involved in adverse human rights impacts either through their own activities or as a result of their business relationships with other parties for the purpose of these guiding principles. A business enterprise activities are understood to include both actions and omissions, and its business relationships are understood to include a relationship with business partners and entities in its value chain and other non-state or state entity directly linked to its business operations, products, or services, and they link to a document. Speaking with BuzzFeed, Ion Dubsky, a member of Some of Us, justified the proposal by stating, spreading hate involves spending money, whether it's paying for online advertising or organizing violent rallies of white supremacist groups, and need financial services from companies like MasterCard. And they also need, they also need money to live. Jesus Christ. They always go to the most extreme. And BuzzFeed, you are garbage. I hope everyone loses their job because you are such a garbage outlet. The proposal does not detail what the creation of a human rights committee entails, because they never do. They just point at someone, wrong thing, you're banned. That's what they're doing. Nor does it specify who would lead the committee, as none of MasterCard's current board member committees have been assigned responsibility for overseeing human rights issues. So it sounds to me this is just a virtuous kind of vote where they're not going to do anything, hopefully. However, in response to this proposal, MasterCard's board of directors provided a statement advising shareholders to vote against the initiative. This is, oh my god, this is awesome. The board unanimously recommends that stockholders vote against this proposal. MasterCard is committed to treating all people fairly and with dignity, and our interest in human rights extends to all our areas which our business is involved and where we have particular expertise. The board does not believe that establishing separate human rights committee is necessary to properly exercise its oversight of this important area. The NCG is responsible for considering issues significant to MasterCard related to corporate social responsibility and diversity initiatives. Oh my god, there is the buzzword again, diversity. As well as others concerns raised by stockholders. The committee reviews legal, regulatory, and public policy matters significant to MasterCard, and its charter gives the NCG the power to study or investigate any matter of interest or concern, including the retention of independent counsel or other expert advisors, to facilitate its work at any time. Oh boy, this sounds awesome. Our existing framework reflects our unwavering commitment to social responsibility and human rights. Our 2018 sustainability report details our efforts in human rights as it relates to inclusive growth, and despite workforce and our ethical, responsible standards, our corporate citizenship report further describes that we may monitor our providers and vendors through a supplier code of conduct and supplier diversity program. Oh my god. Again, the diversity bullshit program. In addition, we require every supplier we work with to abide by labor laws, operate in alignment with globally recognized human rights principles, and avoid the use of forced labor, whether in the form of prison labor, indentured labor, or bonded labor, or otherwise. So, are you going to do this in China? Are you going to implement this in Libya, in Africa, where this actually happens? No, you're not, because you don't care. Whether in the form of prison labor or while we expect each supplier to defend its own human rights policy and approach, we require it to be consistent with both our supplier code of conduct and the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So you have more relativism when it comes to human rights policy to their supplier, but they also have to abide by their own rule and UN human rights. So, okay. The proposal focuses on the use of products by certain organizations. We operate our network on the principle that consumers should be able to make all lawful purchases, and our franchise rules ensure compliance with laws pertaining to the acceptable use of our payment processing services by merchants, acquirers, and issuers. We regularly monitor activities involving our products and services for any alleged illegal use. When we process payment transactions, we do not have visibility into the goods that are purchased or the use of those goods. So you claim that they have to abide by these human rights rights rules, but you do not know what the money is used for. Yet you want to ban people based off of wrong things. So that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. When we process payment transaction, we do not have the or the use of those goods. When we are made aware of the illegal activity or rules violations, we work closely with law enforcement inquiries to shut those down those activities. I mean, that's fine. I don't have any issue with this. Accordingly to because MasterCard has a committee with oversight over issues of corporate social responsibility and has disclosed its commitment to an oversight of human rights issues, the board does not believe that establishing separate human rights committee that is necessary to properly exercise its oversight of this important area. Nor does it add MasterCard's existing commitment to social responsibility and human rights. Therefore, our board recommends that our stockholders vote against its joint proposal. So that's the end of the quote. This is only the latest instance of a payment processing platform facing pressure from MasterCard to deplatform individual or organizations which activists believe to be dangerous or promoting hate. Previously, MasterCard pressured online subscription payment processor Patreon to drop current UKIP parliamentary candidate Carl Benjamin. So they're actively going into elections and interfering with that. Isn't that very unethical of you, MasterCard? Just saying. AK Sargon of Akkad and director of Jihad Watch Robert Spencer, citing the language and questionable content respectively as justification for the removal. Last year, the David Horowitz Freedom Center, a conservative foundation, had their ability to accept credit card donations through WorldPay revoked at the request of MasterCard, though this decision was quickly reversed after pressure from conservative media outlets. What do you make of well, that's basically the end of it. So I wanted to actually talk this because this article only has 307 visits at the time of posting or recording this. So I wanted to talk about this because this is actually a big issue when it comes to censorship and freedom of the market. So anyways, thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time. Bye.